Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I am having such a wonderful day. I slept in today, and then I went and got coffee. I have my coffee right here. And I started running some errands, and then I went to the Meijer, which is like Walmart or Target or whatever. And when I was walking in, they had all of these beautiful plants outside, and they had impatiens and all these kinds of things, and geraniums. And I was like, you know what? Like, I really wanted to make my back patio beautiful this year. I wanted to have all these plants on my front porch and on my back porch, because I love to read out there, and I love to, you know, take my phone out there, or computer or whatever, and watch shows. And I haven't done that this year, you know? And I'm like, it is July. I haven't been to the pool yet. I haven't put the plants out on the patio. And I'm like, I'm doing that today. So I bought 5 huge potted plants, and then I went inside, and my husband, let me see if I can get one. He loves, what are they called, succulents? So I'm surprising him, and I bought him 2 new little succulent plants. I got this one, here I'll show you. This is kind of like a show and tell today. And then I got him this one. And they were like 10 bucks each, but I think they're real cute. And so I'm gonna start, I decided, like, every time that I go to the Meijer, which is often with my friend Tanya, I'm gonna buy one so that we start sprucing up our house with plants. Plants make me happy. I love plants. And, you know, I was on my way home, and before that I was kind of like tired a little bit, you know, because I think I slept too much, and I was kind of dragging a little bit. And then I was like so excited about these plants and getting them and all this kind of stuff. And I got a notebook for my magic book that I'm doing. And I got some new lotion, some Burt's Bees, this honey and milk lotion that I used to use back in the day, and I wanted to get it. And so anyway, I just, you know, it's like those small things in life for me that make me so happy. And, you know, I'm looking out here now, I wanted the plant on the table, and I don't have it on the table because I watered them. They were so dry when I brought them home. So I watered the plants out there, and I watered the plants up front, and then I'm gonna put my water fountain in tonight, and then I'm gonna clean off the table and stuff and make it real nice out in the back patio so we can enjoy it tomorrow, as well as this weekend coming up. And I'm just excited, you know, about the small things in life. And I actually last night was thinking a lot about, if you watch my vlog channel, you'll know that Alex and I last year, we went to Connecticut. We went to this small town in Connecticut, and which is interesting because on my book club, we read about the Long Island Killer, and part of it took place near where we went last year. But it was for like a work thing for Alex, and we stayed in a bed and breakfast, and I didn't really have anything to do but get up on a daily basis, film videos, and read. And so, you know, he would go to this conference in the mornings, and it was in this really small town. It was adorable. And, you know, we would, I would get up, and I would go to the main house, because there was like 3 different houses, and I would go up there, and I would have like lemon hotcakes one day I had, and, you know, and then I would sit out in the gardens, and I would sit there and read. And it was at the beginning of Booktubeathon last year, and, you know, I was just thinking about that trip, and out of all the trips we've taken together since we've been together, that is one of my favorite. And we were only there for a couple days, and, you know, one night we drove to this casino that was like an hour away that was so nice, and we ate dinner, and it's just, you know, we just had such a good time rediscovering things together. And I think that, to me, is a huge part of just life, you know, and being with somebody, is rediscovering simple things together, you know, and I love that. So I just wanted to get some plants. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's all random, but, you know, I was thinking about all that and good memories. And I actually was thinking last night that, you know, we live in Indiana. Michigan is like 4 or 5 hours away, the lake, that we should think about looking at a bed and breakfast this summer, or maybe just going up there for 2 days on a weekend, you know, some small town. I think that would be real fun for us. And it's not a super expensive trip, and it's something that we can just road trip up there and spend some time together, and I think that would be fun, you know? So I'm going to talk to him about that tonight. Today I want to read some meditations. Now, I will tell you, I did other meditations today, so I haven't read from either one of these books. So we're going to read from the Daily Book of Positive Quotations, and then, if there's enough time, I think the meditation in here is really, really short. So if there's time, we'll read from the Language of Letting Go. I have, like I said, no idea what these meditations are. I didn't even look in this one. So yesterday I did, but today I didn't. Okay, so let's go to July, what is today, the 3rd? Tomorrow's the 4th, that's right. Happy Independence Day if you live in the United States. Okay, enthusiasm. None are so old as those who have outlived enthusiasm. Henry David Thoreau, one of my mom's favorite authors of life. Wrinkles, gray hair, and aches and pains aren't the real indicators of old age. a loss of interest in life is. If we are engaged in life, we're still young, no matter what our chronological age. And if we have no enthusiasm for life, we can be old at any time, at any age. We admire the 80-year-old who is learning to surf, the 60-year-old who is going back to school, the 70-year-old who joins the Peace Corps. I'm shaking my head because I literally was talking about this last night in my vlog with one of my mom's friends. Their willingness to try new things, to meet each new day with curiosity and excitement is an example for us all, whatever our age. I will approach this day with enthusiasm. And I think that's a lot of what I was just talking about, with like getting the plants, that I kind of was like lacking some passion today. I was like lacking like motivation. And then like I went in there and I started seeing it come together, and I saw like, all these, is it called succulents? I don't know what they're called, but anyway, my husband loves them, like little, cactus and stuff like that. And I started seeing them like, in our kitchen counter and like, along here. And I thought, this is like, I like this idea. And I got real excited and I started looking through all of them. And I always get real inspired by passion and creativity. It wakes my soul up, And I was talking last night about my mom's friend, and she has like purple hair and she loves purple. And I was thinking about that poem, if you've never read it, that when I am an old woman, I will wear purple. And it's one of my favorite poems. And there's a whole book that's from it, but it's about kind of not caring anymore as you get older, and you like get this spurt of youth in you, I think, as you age a little bit, so to speak. I have to tell a story, and I've told this, I don't know if I've told it on here, but I told it on my BookTube channel, I know. So I've been on BookTube for 3 years and May to June, almost 2 months. And when I started it, one of the things I was really excited about was, I just told a story on my vlog the other day. So if you watch my vlogs, you're going to get tired of the story. And I tell, every story I tell, each time I tell it different. So, but anyway, so I was really excited about doing readathons. They were something that I always wanted to do. Now, a readathon, it can be like 2 days, it can be 4 days, it can be 24 hours, but it's usually, a lot of them are 7 days. And there's a huge one on BookTube, and it is called BookTubeathon, and they changed the name this year. And, but it was started by Ariel Bissett, and it was an annual readathon, but they used to do it in July and also at winter time. They would do like a holiday one, a winter one. And so I was really excited about doing it. It's 7 books in 7 days, and it's just reading, you do challenges every day, and you Instagram, and there's Twitter sprints where they'll like tweet out like, okay, for the next 20 minutes, we're gonna read. At the end of it, like, showing emojis, what book you're reading, and so you had to come up with, like, I was reading Jaws, and I'm like looking for a shark emoji, and I was real excited about it. And a lot of the videos people would put out are like, what kind of special treats are you going to buy for BookTubeathon? Now, mind you, this is 3.5 years ago, so I just turned 47, so at the time I was, what, 43, 44? 43, almost 44? Well, I would have been 44. So anyway, I went out and I bought like all these kind of like sassafras tea that I used to like when I was a kid, and different kinds of like cold coffees, that I could take out on the porch and drink while I was reading, and, special kinds of hot coffee to make, and just food, just like little cheese plates and stuff like that. I was really excited about it, okay? And Alex was really excited about it with me, and he was, just, he could see how passionate about it I was, and I have been somebody that's loved to read my entire life, but I don't have a lot of people around me, other than my best friend, that like to read like I do, but she and I read different things, so we don't really talk about the same. Well, she'll tell me about a book she's reading and vice versa, but very rarely, do we read the same books, and it's usually once or twice a year, and we'll both love the same book, That just happened recently with The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I just didn't, when I got on BookTube, I felt so excited to be connected. Well, BookTube can be a younger crowd, it's more varied and diverse now, but when I got on there, it was a lot of people, that were high school, college, young adults. It was just that age group was a lot of it. And so I was, a lot older than a lot of people. There were a lot of people in their 30s, and, but not really a lot of booktubers in their 40s that were, doing book tags and this kind of stuff. There's a couple, but not many. So we went out to dinner the night that it started. We went with our friends Melissa and Jason, and I don't remember where we were dinner or whatever, but they had something that we were all supposed to go to that night. It was like a birthday party or a birthday. It was something downtown, and I wasn't going to go because BookTubeathon started at midnight, right? And so we were all sitting there, and they were talking about what they were going to do. They were going to go downtown for a couple hours or whatever, and I had this feeling just come over me, like, this is so corny what you are doing. Like, you are a grown adult. Why are you engaging in this, like, BookTubeathon? And this is, like, my saboteur in my head, like, beating me up and telling me that the things I do are stupid. The things I'm interested in are stupid. The things that I like are stupid, right? And so Alex was like, you know, sitting there, and he looked at me and he goes, well, babe, tell him about Booktubeathon. You're so excited about it. And I was like, no, I don't really want to. And he was like, and I really was thinking about maybe not doing it at that point and like going downtown with them. I was kind of like, what am I doing? Like, this is... And I had even like come so far as like my TBR that year, like I had made them all books that had been turned into movies, and I wanted to watch all the movies as well. Which didn't end up happening, but I think I read like 3 or 4 books. I don't think I got anywhere near reading anywhere 7. And most people don't, you know. Ariel Bissett herself, who started it, always says like, I never complete all the challenges. He was like, but you're so excited about it, just tell him about it. Now, so I started kind of like telling him about it, but whatever. So then, you know, I come home and they leave, and I'm sitting there and I have all my books on the front porch, you know, my little glider, and I have my like, you know, sassafras tea or whatever, and I'm sitting out there and I'm ready for it to start, and it's like 11:58. I like got real emotional, and I was like, what am I doing? And I don't know what happened in that moment, but like midnight turned, because they always start at like midnight going into the next day. Midnight started, and I like got on Twitter, and like they were like, you know, okay, Booktubeathon started for the next half an hour, we're gonna read. And I immediately went into Goodreads, which is an app for reading, and I started listing all of my books that I was reading, and I just kind of forgot like all of my preconceived ideas about it, and I just started doing it. And then I started like being active in the Twitter spreads and the Twitter sprints and whatever, when they were like, what book are you reading? How many pages did you, and they'd say like, you know, okay, next half an hour we're gonna read, because they do Twitter sprints for like periods of time. And they would be like, okay, for the last 30 minutes, how many pages did you read? And everybody would tweet them, you know, like 30, 12, 5, you know, whatever. And I got really into it. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life, right? And I think what it showed to me was that I met people through that were 60, that were 18, that were 25, that were 22 in college, you know, that were 35, that were 32. I met people all over age groups, you know, that were engaging in this. And what I realized was that reading really has no age limit on it. And neither does living. You know, living has no age limit on it. We are only constrained by the age. I mean, for me, like when people say like that age doesn't matter, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, because I've earned my age, I've earned my years, but age doesn't keep me from doing the things I want to do. You know, like I go to music festivals with my husband, and I dance just as hard and just as long as most of the people there. And I love the music, and I love to get crazy and wild, you know? And I have to say, I am like on my main channel, or my main Peter Monn channel that I do, you know, over there, like I'm kind of like stupid and silly and whatever, and I allow myself to be that way today in a way that I never would have allowed myself to be 10 years ago. And I think that I've grown up and grown out of caring so much about that. And I think that's a lot about, you know, like when you get older is, you know, like I think some of us feel like we have to be a certain way or present as adults. You know, it's funny, like, okay, so I just went to this pageant, right? And I was like judging it and all this kind of stuff. And when I met everybody the first night, we were all sitting there, you know, in this orientation, and everybody's like, has, you know, very serious jobs. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is going to be an interesting crew. You know, by the end of the next day, we were all laughing hilariously at inside jokes. I mean, we were just a bunch of kids in a van having fun, you know, in this joint thing that we were doing that we both loved together, which was, you know, being part of this pageant. And, you know, it just was one of the coolest experiences for me. And it was like all of us as adults, and there was a varying age group in there. I mean, I think the age range was anywhere from like, I think the youngest judge was like in mid-20s all the way up to, you know, like probably 60 something, that in this van that we were in. And, you know, we were just having laughs and fun, and it was so powerful to me, and it was so good. And you know what it made me realize was that you don't really age out of that. You don't really age out of having fun, being passionate, being creative, laughing. Laughing has no age limit, you know, it really doesn't. And so it's really, to what extent do you want to enjoy your life? I don't want to ever, like when people say to me, you know, act your age, old man, I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what that means. I really don't, okay? You know, like, does that mean I'm not allowed to laugh anymore? Does that mean I'm not allowed to, you know, I don't know, like, go watch a scary movie, that I have to watch only serious movies that are going to be up for Oscars, and, you know, that I can't laugh anymore, and you know what I mean? Like, laughter has no age limit. And so I think as we get older, we have to really realize, and I think this is something that I've realized, that life is so short, I mean, it's really in a blink of the eye when you look back on it, you know? And some days feel like it's been forever, but it's not a dress rehearsal, like I say often, and it's a gift. And how do you want to spend that gift? Do you want to just set it over in a corner and never look at it, never enjoy it? Or do you want to make the most of it? Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.